I'm Peggy Snow, and I'm the Youth Service Coordinator here at John Hardin High School. And tonight we had our Bulldog Story Hour. Our theme tonight was superhero. We celebrated dressing up as superheroes, and we had Halloween stories and superhero stories, and we even had a couple dental stories. So we also are giving out some toothbrushes tonight with a little dental kit, because we want everyone to brush their teeth out of after the big holiday weekend. But our Beta Club is hosting our event tonight. They are our readers, and we're very excited to have the John Hardin Beta Club with us. So enjoy the evening.
All right, guys, I'm Dawson Hall, and I'm with John Hardin High School Beta, and the first book we're going to read today is Lady Pancake and Sir French Toast. Deep in the fridge and behind the green peas, way past the tofu and left on the cheese, up in the corner and back by a roast, sat Lady Pancake beside Sir French Toast. The leftover friends were as close as could be until they heard news from their neighbor, Miss Brie. The syrup is almost gone. A single drop is just left. Just a drop, she went on. The last drop is mine, Lady Pancake conversed. But Sir French Toast replied, not if I get there first. Like that, he was off, and the race had begun, with Pancake behind him, breaking into a run. Through broccoli forest, past orange juice fountain, they climbed to the top of Potato Mash Mountain. Pushing and shoving, they fought for the lead. Toast was behind Pancake, who rolled at high speed. She searched to a stop at the edge of the shelf, clutching a grapevine to steady herself. Toast didn't notice and he couldn't quite stop, plummeting down into the jam with a plop. Pancake made use of her sear-fying skills and sailed across oceans of soup, causing spills. But Chili Lagoon slathered Pancake in muck, and then at a fork in the road she got stuck. Don't go that way, yelled a chickpea to warn her, but Pancake sped on and got trapped in a corner. Caught behind dressings, one Russian, one ranch, she squeaked out and began an avalanche. Toast re-emerged in the vegetable crisper, sneaking up swiftly, not making a whisper. Beans were now falling from such a great height, some kidney, some lima, some pinto with some white. Searching for safety from raining legumes, Toast turned to hide, but was blasted by fumes of Brussels sprouts left from an old party platter. So quickly he climbed up a celery ladder. Beside him a lettuce left parachute landed. Pancake flipped out. It is mine, she demanded. Battered and soggy, exhausted and crumbling, too tired to push, they were limping and stumbling. There stood the bottle of syrup at last. But wait, it was empty. They stood quite aghast. Licking his lips with a sneer that was awful, out of the shadows crept Baron von Waffle. I got here first while you boasted and bickered. My, was that syrup delicious, he snickered. With one evil laugh, Waffle slipped out of sight. The syrup was gone. No more reason to fight. Trudging back home beneath layers of grime, Toast said, perhaps we should not fight next time. Agreed, replied Pancake, as friends we should share. Hey, look, we can split up a butter right there. And that's it.
Hi, I'm Kenneth, and today I'm reading you. Yes, I did. Well, now I'm back reading Night Owl. Every morning before he drifted to sleep, he imagined himself as a real knight. He would be brave, he would be clever, and he would have many friends. It was just a dream, until one day, knights began disappearing from the castle. So Owl applied to night school, and to everyone's surprise, he was accepted. Owl was an excellent student, but he had a tough time with a sword. Even the smallest shield was a problem, and he had a habit of nodding off during the day. Night school was hard, but Owl worked and worked. He graduated with honors, as all knights do. Owl was assigned to the Night's Watch. He was very good at this job. The other knights usually fell asleep during the long Night's Watch, but Owl didn't mind. All alone on the castle wall, he finally felt like a real knight. Until late one evening, it was very dark and very, very quiet when Owl heard a strange sound. Whoosh! It sounded like a huge bird flapping its wings. Ooh! Owl called. There's a dragon. Who? Me? Said a deep voice. Who are you? Asked Owl. I am a hungry dragon, said the dragon. Owl was very afraid. But because he was now a real knight, and knights are brave, he puffed out his feathers and said, I am Owl, and I am a knight of the Night's Watch. But because he... Well, you don't look like a knight, said the dragon. You look like a midnight snack. Owl's feathers trembled. But because he was a real knight, and knights are clever, he said, You don't want me. I'm too small, hardly even a mouthful. A mouthful is enough, snarled the dragon. I am all feathers and fluff, said Owl. A great dragon like you needs something tastier and more filling. How about a pizza instead? Turned out that the dragon loved pizza. I talked about how each of them had hatched from eggs, how much they liked the night, and how flying was hard to explain to someone who has never done it before. They really had a lot in common. The following week, not a single night disappeared, or the week after that. And every night, Owl patrolled the walls. It was very dark and very, very quiet. But Owl didn't mind, because he was brave, he was clever, and he had many friends. The end.
I'm Larry McKnight, and I'm going to be reading The Crocodile and the Dentist. I really don't want to, the crocodile said, but I have to. I really don't want to, but I have to, the dentist said. Ah, said the crocodile, and ah, said the dentist. Must I? Asked the crocodile. Must I? Asked the dentist. I'm scared, said the crocodile. I'm scared, said the dentist. But I should be brave, said the crocodile. But I should be brave, said the dentist. I'm ready for the worst, said the crocodile. I'm ready for the worst, said the dentist. Ouch, said the crocodile. Ouch, said the dentist. Just a little longer, said the crocodile. Just a little longer, said the dentist.
Why do they keep on saying the same thing?
I don't know. Woof, said the crocodile. Woof, said the dentist. Thank you so much. See you again next year, said the crocodile. Thank you so much. See you again next year, said the dentist. I don't want to see him again, said the crocodile. And I don't want to see him again, said the dentist. So I must remember to brush my teeth. So you must remember to brush your teeth, said the dentist.
Josie's lost tooth. Josie was the monkey bars champion of her class. She was the first one to read a whole book by herself, and she was almost the fastest runner at recess. But Josie was the only one in her class who hadn't lost a tooth. Not a single one. When Richard lost his first tooth, he showed Josie the coin he got from the tooth fairy. She sneaks into your room when you're asleep and takes your tooth, Josie asked. Yep, said Richard, and she gives you the money for it. Josie checked for a loose tooth every night, but nothing ever moved, not even a little bit. I lost a tooth at breakfast, Richard said one morning. I brought it in with my shark tooth for show and tell. Sharks? Sharks' teeth fall out when they chomp into boats and giant squids. I wish I could chomp into a squid, said Josie. At lunch, Josie saved her apple for last. My tooth is going to come out when I chomp into this apple, like when a shark chomps on a squid, she said. Your tooth is still in there, Josie, said Richard. I want to try my carrot sticks instead. But those didn't work either. When Josie found Richard at recess, she said, "Watch this, I'm going to pull my tooth out with a string." Did it work, she asked. Richard looked inside Josie's mouth. Still there, he said. Josie wondered if she would ever get a coin from the tooth fairy. What if she had baby teeth for the rest of her life? Just then, Richard ran by. Want to play sharks, he asked. All right, said Josie. I'll be the shark. But just when Josie was about to catch up with Richard, she tripped. Splat. Josie felt around in her mouth with her tongue. Her tooth was gone. Oh no, she gasped. My tooth. Richard helped her look for it, but Josie's tooth was nowhere to be found. Maybe you swallowed it, he said. While Josie was in the nurse's office, Richard tried to cheer her up. At least you finally lost a tooth, he said. I didn't want to lose it though, said Josie. Now what? Will I have to leave for the tooth fairy? You can try leaving my shark tooth, Richard offered. That night, Josie held the shark tooth up to her gap. It made her look pretty sharky, but it wasn't her own tooth. She decided to leave a note for the tooth fairy under her pillow with the shark tooth. It read, Dear Tooth Fairy, I lost a tooth today, but I can't find it. My friend Richard said I could leave his shark tooth for you instead. I'm the last one in my class to lose a tooth, so please still leave me a coin. Love, Josie. When Josie checked under her pillow in the morning, there was a note from the tooth fairy, and something else. She couldn't wait to show Richard. You got a shark tooth necklace? Asked Richard. Yep, said Josie, and she left one for you too. Cool, said Richard. Want to play sharks? Okay, said Josie. You can be the shark and I'll be the squid. Chomp. The end.
My big bad monster. What a huge head you have. The more she listened, the more the monster grew. Why did you say that? That was dumb. Nobody wants to play with you. And grew. She started sounding like the monster too. Finally, she had enough. Stop. but he wouldn't listen. She had so much fun making music, she decided to create her own instruments. Then she asked a new friend to join in. They sounded spectacular. The girl never heard from the monster again, but then she wasn't listening anyway. She was just too busy having fun with her friends.
I'm Angelina, and I'm gonna read Ice Cream Face. Do you guys like ice cream? Yeah?
Ice cream!
I'm an ice cream kid. Lunch should be an ice cream sandwich. For dessert, keep the cake and pie. Just give me a la mode, a la mode. Ice cream scooped and round, curved and swirled, in a cake or sugar cone with candles or sprinkles. I like them all. But waiting is hard. Especially when I see ice cream faces all around. The nose licker, the dribbler, the side swiper, the biter, the bearded lady, and the bearded baby. Oh no, not so fast. This is my brain freeze face. I slow way down, looking my sweet treat. An ice cream river tickles my fingers. Oh no, too slow. My scoop is turning into soup. Catch it, lick it, save it quick. Slurp, flop, kerplop. This is my sad face. Oh no, the store is closed. Oh yes, the ice cream faces all around. Give some scoops to me. Ice cream is even sweeter when it is shared. The end.
Okay, I'm Dana, and I'm gonna read you Dear Ballerina. Do any of you guys dance? No? Okay, that's okay. Okay. Dear Ballerina, I've dreamed of being a ballerina just like you. I love to dance. I tiptoe in my ballet slippers. I bend and stretch to the music. I love to jump and turn. Dancing makes me happy. I want to be a beautiful, strong ballerina just like you. So I practice every day. I was excited to learn a part for a real ballet on stage. I worked hard in rehearsals. I was a little nervous when I was getting ready for my first show. But while I waited for my entrance, I watched you dance. Dear Ballerina, you've gave me inspiration. Our tutus whirl together. I love to dance. One day I dream of being an amazing ballerina just like you. Love, little dancer. Dear little dancer, follow your dreams and enjoy every moment. Love, Ballerina.
I'm going to be reading the 10 Twinkly Stars. High above the sleepy jungle, 10 stars are shining bright. As lion yawns, it's time for bed and curls up for the night. 9 stars glow above the rabbits. They bounce back to their beds. Time to nest in their burrow and rest their sleepy heads. Boing boing. 8 sparkly stars gleam overhead as the owls sing. Hoo hoo. When evening falls, they're wide awake. They play the whole night through. The hippos stomp down to the swamp as 7 stars shine high. They wade in for a midnight swim beneath the twinkling sky. Up in the sky, 6 bright stars wink down on the woolly sheep. The lambs skip as their mummies call. It's time to go to sleep. As 3 stars sparkle in the sky, down on the dusty land, the camels shut their sleepy eyes and snooze upon the sand. In the sky above the yard, 2 stars light up the dark. Puppy curls up in his house and gives a good night bark. Outside the bear's warm, cozy cave, 1 star shines through the night. The bears cuddle up together until the morning light. Snuffle. All tucked into their comfy beds, the animals snuggle tight. They sleep beneath the twinkly stars around the world tonight. The end.
Sneakers by the Seaside Cat. Sneakers the Seaside Cat. Once there was a little fat cat, and his name was Sneakers. He had 4 white paws, and almost all the rest of him was inky black. He lived with a little boy and his father and his mother. One day, the little boy and his father and his mother went to the seashore. When Sneakers came to the sea, he was delighted. He could smell the fish. He thought he could catch them like mice. But when he dipped his careful little paw into the blue sea, the water was wet and it was cold. So Sneakers decided to go to the field and look for mice instead. The field was full of butterflies, so Sneaker chased one, but the sea was bothering him. All around him he could smell it, beyond the smell of all the pine trees, and he could feel it. It excited him, and way off he could still hear it. Boom, boom, boom. Sneakers did not know that boom, boom, boom was the sea pounding the rocks way offshore, out on the ledges of sea. Then he heard, ha ha ha, scree, scree. He wondered what it was. First it was a shadow, then it was a bird. Only it was such a big bird, it didn't seem very frightened of a little black cat with white paws. Sneakers didn't like to think about birds who were not afraid of cats, so he went for a walk on the beach. He saw a big fat thing with long bent legs. Sneakers could see the 2 black shiny eyes sticking out of its head. Sneakers crept after it, but the crab's eyes stuck so far out of its head that they had seen Sneakers coming. The crab scuttled down to the water's edge, but Sneaker was too quick. He hit the crab with his paw to see what it would do. And this is what the crab did. The crab shot out its long bent legs and grabbed a hold of Sneaker's little white paws in its crab claws. It hung on and pinched Sneakers a little. Sneakers didn't like that at all. He snatched his paw back so far that the crab fell out, and he licked his paw and ruffled out his fur and walked on down the beach. Poor Sneakers. Something was happening in the air. The air was wetter and heavier. Sneakers could feel it on his tender little nose, and when he looked around, there were great puffs of smoke billowing in from the sea. They smelled of the sea and came drifting in, the puffs big clouds, until you couldn't see the sun anymore. Everything was gray, and the land beyond was all dim and dark, like one big shape. My, but I am glad I saw that, thought Sneakers. In the morning it was still foggy. down in the depths of the sea, and as the fish swam slowly, and the starfish pointed their spiky arms. Lobsters crawled into lobster pots, and sea urchins clung to the rocks. Then the sun came out of the gray and drove the fog away. It was low tide, and all around was seaweed. Then Sneakers heard a little sound. It was like creaky breathing. It was the seaweed popping. "My, I'm glad I heard that," said Sneakers, and he sat and warmed himself in the sunlight and watched the light on the waves. The next day, Sneakers and his family left the seashore. All the way home in his car, Sneakers thought soft little cat thoughts about the sea. Deep in the fog, a sea slug gonged sleepy rocks to it. Ding dong dong. Hark the sound of the sea slug gong. Ding dong dong, ding dong dong.
Froggy gets dressed. Yeah? I really like Froggy. It was cold. Froggy woke up and looked out the window. "Snow, snow," he sang. "I want to play in the snow." "Go back to sleep, Froggy," said his mother. "Don't you know? Frogs are supposed to sleep all winter. Wake up when the snow melts." "No, no," cried Froggy. "I'm awake, awake. I want to go out and play in the snow." So Froggy put on his socks, zoop, pulled on his boots, zup, put on his hat, zat, tied on his scarf, zwit, tugged on his mittens, zum, and flopped outside into the snow. Flop, flop, flop. "Froggy!" called his mother. "What?" yelled Froggy. "Did you forget to put something on?" Froggy looked down. "Oops," cried Froggy. "I forgot to put on my pants." He flopped back inside. Flop, flop, flop. Tugged off his mittens, untied his scarf, took off his hat, pulled off his boots. He left his socks on and slipped his pants on. Zip! Then he pulled on his boots, zup, put on his hat, zat, tied on his scarf, zwit, tugged on his mittens, zum, and flopped back outside into the snow. Flop, flop, flop. "Froggy!" called his mother. "What?" yelled Froggy. "Did you forget to put something on?" Froggy looked down. He had on his mittens, he had on his scarf, he had on his coat, he had on his shirt, he had on his pants, he had on his boots, he had on his socks. He reached up, yep, he had on his hat. What could he be missing? "Your underwear!"
I forget to put on my underwear every day.
His mother laughed. "Oops," cried Froggy, looking more red in the face than green. He flopped back inside. Flop, flop, flop. Tugged off his mittens, untied his scarf, unwrapped his coat, unbuttoned his shirt, unzipped his pants, pulled off his boot, took off his socks. He left his hat on and slipped his long johns on with a zap of elastic. Then he put on one sock, zoop, pulled on one boot, zup, tugged on one mitten, zum, started to tug on the other, and let it drop, and said, "I'm too tired." And he went back to sleep. Oh my goodness. Good night, Froggy. The end.
I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight for the Bulldog Story Hour. This is our last Bulldog Story Hour for the season. We'll be back in the spring with one each month for March, April, and May. So we hope you'll come back and join us. But once again, I want to thank the Beta Club for being our readers and doing such a great job. And I want to thank all the students from Heartland Elementary and New Highland that joined us each month here at the Bulldog Story Hour. It's been a great literacy event.